Morning everybody, thank you for coming along to this week's Ableweb Radio session. Just to remind you what we were doing last week, we had started to listen through some of the archive material that Rose had sent us for hopefully including in a programme about the 30th anniversary of Accessible Arts and Media. We listened to the quite long Crystal FM show, and there were quite a few bits and pieces that we found in that programme that we wanted to use. A couple of the sketches and the pieces and a couple of the things that Tracy contributed to. Yes, this first piece we're going to listen to, it's labelled Sue's Song. Sue is a lady's name, and it's from 2003. I'm not really sure I've not really had a listen to it, so I'm not sure what to expect. So I'm listening to this for the first time as well as you, so let's have a wee listen. Okay, what do people think?
I thought it's very good.
Very nice tune.
Yeah.
We've got lots of material to choose from.
Loads and loads of material. In fact, we've got another song coming up now which is probably going to be very similar. It's called Soundweaver's Reggae, and it comes from 2007. Like this.
I like it. I like it.
Without personality.
Okay, so
Nice.
that's very nice.
And
Yeah, I think it's very nice, very pleasant, very clear, because you can hear, unlike the song we heard before that, you can hear all of the instruments quite clearly.
Very atmospheric, isn't it?
yeah. I like this one.
This is from 2007, and I'm not sure if any of you may remember this. There was a project with a DJ who came in and did some rapping.
What do you mean? Falling from a cliff?
Hey, that's it.
That's not it, that's Healy. Here we go.
Thank you.
We can start editing out the little bits that we want and have them ready to put into the radio show whenever we put it all together. We also started listening through some of the other tracks as well. A few songs that we think we wanted to include. Was the Bandits Old York song, which was quite nice. The Disco Mix song, which a lot of people had contributed to, and we think we were going to play that at the end. And then there was also the little story about the king with donkey's ears and the poem. And already when we listened to those, we also kind of thought about some questions we might want to ask each other, or maybe ask any guests who we interview. With the last show we did, and we did it with symbols.
I love symbols.
So, I mean, this one doesn't have many symbols on it, because this is from a page in the script that Richard was doing for a link in the old show. And it's not got a lot of symbols, because Richard didn't need to have the symbols on the script. But I know that before, some of you preferred to have a lot of symbols.
I do.
Yeah, and I think Joseph does as well. And maybe Simone as well. So what we need to do is try and get a script ready that has the symbols and the text written out like that. So whenever it comes to recording the show and recording the links, then that helps us to try and help you all with the script. Okay, if you just want to do a quick check, Richard, just say anything.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. The lights are going up a bit more. So to fill it all in. Yeah, so that's recording now, Richard, so just whenever you're ready.
Recently, the patron of Accessible Arts and Media Alan Hacker, OBE, died. An accomplished clarinet player and conductor, he was our patron for over 20 years.
Someone had sandwiches on the beach. They got sand in them, and then they couldn't eat them.
It's lovely.
Remember that?
Excellent. Okay, and I'll just say what I'm going to say and you repeat it to me. Coming up now
Coming up now,
are 2 clips
2 clips
from 2005
from 2005
about Vikings.
about Vikings.
Well done. Okay.
As you heard at the start of the show, we are looking back at our history. Let's find out more on how long that history goes back to and where it's taken us.
Thank you for listening and goodbye.
Excellent. Well done.
Brilliant.
That piece we've recorded is about just over 3.5 minutes long, so we want to try and cut it down to about 2 minutes and 9. So we're just starting to listen through back to it and cut out pieces where there's like a bit of hesitation within the group, any ums or ahs, anything that may not sound like really kind of keeping the conversation going really. And Richard is now quite skilled at doing that because, you know, he's gained experience not only kind of using the editing tools practically but also kind of thinking about, you know, kind of what do I want to keep in as part of the show. So we've got Richard to start off and then we're going to get other members of the group involved.
Yeah. So what have you been doing? Tell us what you're doing here, Patrick.
I am filming the 30th anniversary.
So is this all going as part of that? Yeah. So it's a learning, so they've been funding for a learning project. So they've made a start on the radio, the online radio station. So we've got a little bit of funding from Your Consortium. You come across those guys? They used to be the North Yorkshire Learning Consortium, and then they changed the name. Yeah. So they've dedicated some funding to be able for the group to just consolidate some of their because it's also an online station, so it has bits of filming as well. So they're bits of filming for their recording, their editing, for their script writing, for their production, for the everything, so that it's all sort of
all the things that are interested in.
Absolutely. So at the end of the term, they'll get like a certificate.
Yes.
For what they've done. So it's quite exciting to hear. So Tracy, come on, give us something that you've been doing. What's been your favourite bit?
Sometimes when it's on, I can hear myself on computer and I block my ears up because I don't hear myself.
Oh, does it feel strange? I don't like
hearing myself. So I just put fingers in the ears and never hear it.
But have you been liking hearing back some of the things that you did many years ago?
Yeah, and it's nice to hear what I did back then.
Can you remember the name of any of them that you've been working on?
Creative Sound.
Creative Sound.
That's right.
Was that your Creative Sound song?
This is so nice music there, isn't it?
I love that.
Tell you what, there's a little bit there if you want. You can cut that bit out because you know you repeat yourself after that. So we'll use that for you to do the filming.
When you want at man school.
Man school? And what were you doing then?
What we've done is on the board here, I've written up the elements. Okay, we've picked out 4 pieces of kind of spoken word. We've got some stuff from the Crystal FM recording that we want to include. We've got a story, The King Has Donkey's Ears. We've got a poem, and we've got the stories about the Vikings. And then as well as that, on this side, we have the songs that we want to pick out. So we've picked out 4 songs that we want to include on the show. And what we've just been doing is, along the bottom here, thinking about guests who we want to maybe interview on the show itself. And so far, everyone in the group has suggested we maybe speak to each other, speak to Rose. Hayley has suggested she would be a good person to speak to because she's been associated with accessible arts and media from the start. Hannah, Alan, Molly, quite a varied mix of guests to interview.
Plenty of interviews with them before we did January, didn't we?
That's it.
We used the particle one.
Yeah. Can anybody think of anything else we may be missing?
What does other people do? What other people do? I think I like that.
That's actually a very good point, Tracy. What I'll probably do now, Richard, will probably let everybody else have a bit of a go. So now, if you want to try and get the mouse sort of around here, and then do you want to pull the mouse all the way back to the start? See if you can do that. That's it. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, keep going. Right to the very start. Keep going. Keep going. That's it. Wonderful. And then if you want to click on the scissors. Right, let's see how this sounds.
We were recently joined by Sean.
Excellent. We can cut from here all the way to there. So if you want to cut that in
Because
there.
if you can get enough
It's top sound.
Lovely, so let's have a listen now. So if you want to press spacebar.
We've come to the end of our special show. We hope you enjoyed looking back much as we have.
Lovely, well done, Patrick. There's now only 2 links that need to be edited, and then that's everything ready for the show.
What have you learned to do?
I like editing, I like doing it. I think it's quite interesting.
What do you think about what we're doing with the show?
I think it's going on really good.
So, can you tell us a bit about the show?
It's to mark 30 years of visual arts and media.